Today, I want to clear up a question that buyers ask me all the time. Hi, agents. Tara Ryan here, and today's tip from Tara is, why don't we get our final cash to close numbers earlier? If you've ever had a buyer start to panic in the final week, this video is for you, and we're going to help explain exactly what's happening behind the scenes. Look, here's the truth. Nothing is wrong if you don't have the exact, the penny final figures well before closing. In fact, the whole system is kind of built up that way. One reason, most properties are in what we call a PUD, meaning there's an HOA involved. And when you have an HOA, the attorney needs to order what's called an HOA letter. This is the document that describes who owes what. It might include things like the assessment, any HOA dues, transfer fees, initiation fees. And until we have that final document, we can't have final numbers. Here's the thing. That letter costs money. The HOA charges for it. So the attorneys typically wait till the very last minute to order it before they have sunk costs into a transaction before they're sure it's going to close. So without that letter, we can't finalize the closing disclosure. Another key point that agents should know, those final numbers are actually a collaboration between multiple parties. The lender and the attorney for sure go back and forth working on that document, sometimes with input from the HOA. And we do that to get the numbers just right. Here's the thing, even if my team is ready early, and we often are, the attorney is still needed to help us balance that. And look, most lenders aren't early. So the attorneys are kind of set up with a process to work on this at the very end. Now, here's what we do to help keep our buyers confident. We give them an estimated cash to close number well ahead of closing so that they can go ahead and wire their money. We intentionally round up with the idea that then they could get a small refund right at the closing table, either hand them a check or wire back that refund. We'd much rather have them feel confident and be able to come to the closing table prepared and get that small refund than to be stressed all the way up to the last minute. So this isn't a delay. This is really just kind of how the system is designed. So where that collaboration is needed. Now, let me tell you how we set ourselves apart. My team is known for our 7-day countdown to closing phone call. What we do is a week before closing, we reach out to every single buyer with a very detailed checklist of everything that we want to make sure we have correct and that they understand prior to closing. On that call, we're going to cover who needs to attend closing, right? Whether we need a power of attorney. Is there someone else that might need to be added to title? We'll for sure talk about wiring the money, why they need to be careful wiring the money and the wiring scams that are out there, and to make sure that their bank is capable of wiring the money, right? I even had one client several years ago, but her small bank would not wire the funds without her physically being present. She actually had to get a flight up to Boston to get her money. So small bank. Anyway, so we cover that process to make sure that they can get their money. And of course, we go over their estimated cash to close and give them a number that they can go ahead and wire, and then let them know when they can expect the final number, right? Look, 7 days out is about the nervous stage we have found. That's when buyers suddenly realize, oh, this is really happening. What do I need to do next? And they need that little bit of reassurance. So by having that as part of the process, it reduces their stress, any last minute chaos, because we've asked those questions that can cause deals to blow up at the last minute. And honestly, I think it's where many of our 5-star reviews come from. Our intent with that process to make sure it's smooth all the way through closing is so that we can get those great reviews, but also referrals for you and for me. So the next time a buyer asks, why don't I have final numbers yet? I hope you can a little more confidently explain the process. Explain it's normal and that final CD is a collaboration. Why the attorney is waiting a little bit till the last minute, and remind them that here at the Ryan Mortgage team, we'll give them an estimated figure early, round it up so that they're prepared, and we'll deliver that final document and the final number as soon as we have everything balanced to make sure that all is set for them to have closing. We'll keep every closing on track. Stay proactive and make sure that we have happy clients at the end to make us both look good. So if you want your buyer taken care of from start to finish, and especially with a strong finish, we are here to help. We would love to work with you.